Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we have this 2017 Chevy Silverado, and we're going to do the rear chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So this is how it looks before doing the installation on the rear panel, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material to black out the entire rear chrome panel. Link for the product will be provided below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start with the installation for the rear panel, we need to make sure we prep the entire chrome. So all we need is water and baby shampoo mixed together in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and just make sure to remove any contaminants that the entire panel may have. And then once you're done prepping the panel, make sure that it's completely dry. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel and we don't have any contaminants left over that may be on the back when we install the film. So once you finish prepping the entire panel, now we can start with the installation. So with this one, we're installing the piece that covers this small curved section of the rear panel. So just align it to where the body line of the curve is located and make sure you give yourself enough material to cover this side. So it should be like this, follow through. Once you place it, hold the film, grab your squeegee and just squeegee at an angle. That way we're able to tack down the entire film and make sure to remove any air bubbles that are underneath the film. So lift and tack down to remove the bubbles, and then just go side to side until you reach to the bottom section. Once you get to the bottom here, lift it and apply a little bit of heat, that way we're able to tack it down underneath here. So grab your heat gun, hold the film, and apply heat around this middle section. Let the film cool down, and then with your squeegee, help it tack down. And make sure you're removing all the bubbles. So lift it, apply heat, and then tack down. Grab your squeegee and tack everything down. And with this one, you only need to go up to where the chrome ends. The rest of the material will get trimmed off. So make sure you're just covering up to the lower section where the chrome is ending. And then for this section, since there is a small curve, just apply heat. That way we help the film tack down and adjust to this section of the curve. Okay. Once we apply heat and we seal all the edges, trim off the extra material. So there is a small gap in between the plastic panel here and the actual chrome panel. Once you find that gap, insert your blade and just trim off the extra material. And do the same for the bottom section, and once we're done trimming off the extra material, we can move on to the next piece. So for the next piece that covers this entire section of the panel, just place the film right on the edge. Make sure you're covering the chrome here. And once you place it here, just leave it like that. Lift this section and just help it align to this edge. So hold both ends and just help it tack down here and bring the film down here. And we just need to fix this section as well, again, since we did lift it, and place it back down. Once you place the film, go ahead and start tacking everything down. Make sure to remove any air bubbles that the film may have. Take your time tacking down everything. And if you need to, let's say, lift the film because there's a bubble around here that you can't remove, just lift it carefully and help it tack down. So just go side to side. And just help it tack down. And then do the same here, just go side to side. So for example here, we have air bubbles that are in the middle section. Just lift the film, hold it, and with your squeegee, just tack it down side to side until you reach to the bottom. But before we finish down here, make sure this whole section stays tacked down. So side to side too. Make sure there's no fingers on this section. It has to be smooth. And then just help it tack down around here. If you need to apply heat to help it tack down around the curve, you can apply heat. So just apply a little bit and then help it tack down. There's no air bubbles underneath the film. everything should be good. And now we can focus around the edges. So for the edges, apply heat and it just helps it tack down little by little. Make sure you seal this body line first, remove all the air that's trapped here, and then apply heat to tack down around the curve. And the same steps that were done for this curve, you would repeat it for this section. Apply heat, and then with your finger or your squeegee, just help it sit around the curve. Once this sits, make your way down and to the other side. And then once everything's been tacked down, then we can trim off the extra material on the edges. And the same steps that were done for trimming off the excess material on this side, you repeat it all over throughout the entire panel. There is a small gap where you could insert your blade here. And once you find that gap, just slowly trim off the excess material. And it should come off just like this. And it should still cover the chrome. And you would just do the same for this section too. And just follow through with the rest of the trimming on this edge. Once you're done trimming, then we can move on to the next piece that covers this section here. So for the piece that covers this section here, just align it to wherever you left off. You could overlap the film just a bit if you like. And then once you place it on this end, use your finger and just follow through with the rest of the panel. And just make sure you're covering the entire chrome. So it's getting misaligned, just lift it and realign it. So make sure everything's being covered. Once everything's placed, grab your squeegee, secure this middle flat section first. And we're going to apply a little bit of heat on the top and on the lower section here. That way we help it sit and tack down to the chrome panel here. And then for the curve as well, apply a little bit of heat to help it sit. And then any extra material we have afterwards, we'll trim it off. So when you finish installing both sides of the panel, the last piece would be this middle section here. So with this one, you can start from either end, wherever you left off, just align it. So make sure, align it at least this section, design of the rear panel. So just place the film here, align it on one side, lift it carefully, and make sure you have it aligned until you reach to the other end. Hold the film like this, that way we lay it evenly to the panel. And if you need to have more coverage, let's say on one end, we will just lift, realign it, place it back down, and just remove this section since it has a little bit more material. So just like that. And then just start by removing the air that's in the middle. So you could lift it from this end and then just start tacking down the film. You go side to side, that way we don't accidentally crease the film. So make sure to remove all the air that's underneath this middle section. And remember, if you do have bubbles stuck underneath the film, just lift it and reapply it back down and making sure you tack it down. And now just tack it down on top. If you have extra material, we'll just trim it off like how we did it with the other panels. Find the gap and then trim off. But before we trim, make sure everything's tacked down. Apply heat to seal everything, that way it stays tacked down, and then we can trim off the extra material. So now we finished tacking it down, grab your heat gun, apply heat, and then we'll trim off the extra material. And then like I mentioned, once we're done applying the whole entire panel, we post heat the entire rear panel. So the last thing to do once you finish installing the film to the rear chrome panel is to pulse heat the entire film. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down and it doesn't lift over time. So all we need to do is just apply heat throughout the entire rear, making sure if there is any film still lifting, help it tack down by applying heat. That way it stays tacked down, and then just make sure you apply heat evenly throughout the entire panel. And then once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the rear chrome delete installation for the 2017 Chevy Silverado. We hope that the video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.